Hi, welcome to Paint the Kitchen Red. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the most incredible pound cake right in your air fryer, and it comes out just as moist and delicious as any oven baked version. This cake is perfect for when you don't want to heat up your kitchen in the summer, or maybe you just want to make a smaller cake for a few people. I've been perfecting this recipe and I make it all the time now. It takes just 35 minutes to bake versus an hour in the oven. And so now let's get started. You'll need half a cup of sour cream. I also use whole milk yogurt occasionally and it comes out just fine. 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, a stick of unsalted butter, and a stick is half a cup, which is 1/4 pound, and this should be at room temperature, and 1 egg at room temperature as well. Having these 2 ingredients at room temperature is important because it makes for a better cake. Half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, half a teaspoon of baking powder, a pinch of salt. Mix together flour, salt, and baking powder in a small bowl and set it aside for just a bit. In another bowl, you're going to mix the butter and the sugar. Make sure the butter is at room temperature, as I mentioned before. And you could use a stand mixer, but I just use a hand mixer. And beat on medium speed for about 3 minutes or until the mixture is light and airy. And make sure you scrape down the sides of the bowl using a silicone spatula periodically. Now add the room temperature egg and beat it in until it's just combined. Don't overmix it. Add in the vanilla and beat it until it's just incorporated. And once again, don't overbeat. And the reason I keep repeating this is the pound cake can become dense or it can fall in the middle if you overbeat it or you beat it at too high a speed. We're going to add the flour and the sour cream or yogurt, whichever you're using, in batches. So add half the flour and beat it until it's just combined. And then you'll add all of the sour cream and beat that until it's just combined. And then you'll add the remaining flour until it's just combined. So the reason we do this in batches is just to make sure that the batter is airy and it doesn't become dense. Grease and flour a 7-inch baking pan. I like to use a brand called Fat Daddy-O, and it's a push-up pan where the insert or the middle of the pan pushes up, and I really think it's very convenient. Transfer the batter to the pan and spread it out evenly, and before putting it into the air fryer, bang it on the countertop about 2 to 3 times to make sure any air bubbles disappear. Now we're ready to bake the cake. I'm baking this in an Instant Pot air fryer, but you can use a regular standard air fryer. If I'm using the Instant Pot, I place the pan on a trivet to raise it up a little bit. You don't need to do that if you're using a regular air fryer. Air fry the cake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 35 minutes. If you're using a basket style air fryer, reduce the temperature to about 330 degrees and bake for about the same amount of time. Just check on it just to make sure it's baked all the way through. It's ready when a toothpick, it comes out clean when you poke it in the middle of the cake. Let the cake cool down and then it's ready to be frosted or glazed. I like to use a glaze with half cup of confectioner's sugar, a tablespoon of whole milk, and a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I just whisk it all together, and once the cake is cool, I just drizzle the glaze all over the top of the cake. The cake really doesn't need the glaze, but it just looks nicer when you have the glaze, so I like to spread that out and decorate it with some fruit or just leave it plain. I hope you enjoy the recipe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.